Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ba'd. So, Prophet Ibrahim and his family, they've inhabited Mecca. He left his family there, so now Mecca is settled. Ibrahim didn't just leave his family and never visited them. He used to go and he would visit his family from time to time. He knew that Allah had taken care of them, but obviously he's going to come back and he's going to check on his wife and he's going to check on his son, Ismail. So whenever he visited, Ibrahim saw that his son is growing up nicely, he's healthy, he has good manners. And so during one of his visits, Ibrahim had a dream that Allah told him that he's supposed to sacrifice his own son, Ismail. Now Ibrahim knew that he is a prophet, and he knew that Allah is communicating with him up until now in his life. So this vision, he understood it, that this was a message that Allah is giving him. He's supposed to do exactly what Allah is telling him in this vision. So Ibrahim wanted to do exactly what Allah told him to do. So he went to his son Ismail, and he told him, he said, "My son, I have seen in the vision that I am supposed to sacrifice you for Allah. I want to know what you think about this idea." Now he didn't need to, Allah didn't tell him to ask him what his opinion is. But before Ibrahim does something, even though Allah is telling him that he must do this, he wanted his son, he wanted to check to see what his son thinks. He wanted to see what his response would be. Ismail is a believer, he's a Muslim, he's not a little child. He's a young man now, he's grown up, he's an adult. And he goes and he tells his father, he says, "My father, you should do whatever Allah tells you to do. I am ready to be patient, inshallah, if Allah allows me to be patient." So Ibrahim took his son outside of Mecca to a place called Mina, and he brought a knife with him. And Allah was testing him. Allah wanted to test Ibrahim to see, does he love Allah more, or does he love this son more? He had waited so long to have this child. This was his only child. So Allah wanted to see what Ibrahim is going to do. Of course, Allah already knows, but He wants Ibrahim to make a tough decision in his life. So Ibrahim lays his son down on the ground, and he took out his knife, and he put the knife to his throat. And at that moment, Allah revealed to Ibrahim, He said, "Stop. You've already passed the test. We just wanted to see, I wanted to see if you were going to do it or not. Ismail doesn't need to die." It was just a test to see if Ibrahim was willing to give up anything, the thing that he loved the most, if he was willing to give that up for Allah. And Ibrahim was clearly ready to do that. So Allah told him, just go and sacrifice the sheep instead, and you can distribute that meat to the poor. It's going to be an animal sacrifice. There was no need to actually sacrifice your son. But Allah was very happy with Ibrahim, because he was willing to do anything for Allah. Anything Allah told him, he's willing to do it. So Allah gave him the nickname Khalilullah, which means the friend of Allah. The one who, is very close to Allah. And he is given this name for two reasons. One, because he's doing everything that Allah told him to do. And number two, Ibrahim is constantly moving. He's traveling from place to place. He doesn't have that many friends with him. He's going from one region to another, traveling around. So he finds his comfort in Allah. So this was the sacrifice. Ibrahim left Mecca one more time. And then he goes and he visits his family again. And the next time he visits his family, Allah told him that it's his responsibility, it's his job to build a masjid, to build a mosque in Mecca that people are going to come and they're going to visit from very far away. This is not only a masjid for people of Mecca, it's for people from all around different areas to come and pray over there and worship Allah. Now there are so many idol worshipping temples around the world. People would go and they would travel from far to go and visit this idol and pray to it. But there wasn't one building where everyone can go from far away and travel to that one building, and they can go and they can pray only to Allah over there. There must have been local masjids and local places to pray to Allah, but not one that unites people. So they decided they're going to build the Kaaba because Allah told them to. So father and son, Ibrahim and Ismail, they worked together. They went nearby to the hills and the mountains around Mecca, and they would go and they would break off stones, and they would carry those stones inside Mecca, and they started constructing it exactly the way that Allah wanted it to be. And it was going to be a small building, it's a small building, like a house size, something like that. And they began building the Kaaba for the first time. Now Ibrahim and Ismail, while they were building the Kaaba, they would make dua. Some people when they're working, they're singing songs, or they're chit-chatting or something like that. Father and son were making dua to Allah, and the dua that they would make is that they would say, "Our Lord, accept this from us. Allah, you asked us to do this. We want you to accept this effort that we are doing to build this house for you." And then they said, "You are the hearing and the knowing." Means that you hear our prayer. Whatever we ask you for, we know that you hear us. And you are the knowing. You know what we're doing. You know why we're doing this. We're not doing this for any other reason. We're doing this for you, O Allah. So Allah accepted their effort. And Allah blessed the Kaaba. Millions of people, since the Kaaba was built, have been praying to Allah for thousands of years. If you just think about how many people, for how many thousands of years has been praying to Allah in Makkah at the Kaaba, it's really amazing. So all these people now were being called, and they would come and they would pray at the Kaaba. Even there's a lot less people during Ibrahim's time, but they would come. And when they would come, Ibrahim gave the name to his followers, the name of Muslims, in his own language. Because Muslim means somebody who surrenders themselves to Allah, somebody who submits to Allah. That's what the word Muslim itself means. So he gave the name Muslim to all the people who were following his way of Ibrahim and only worshipping Allah, only praying to Allah. So Allah also revealed some rules to Ibrahim that people should follow. And these rules were written down in little booklets. They're known as suhuf. Sahifa means like a little booklet. So Allah gave some revelation to Ibrahim. Ibrahim built the Kaaba and many other aspects of what we are mentioning so far in this story. Now, one day, some people came to visit Ibrahim. And he was somewhere else. We don't know exactly where he was. And so Ibrahim didn't recognize who these people were. And around, no one else recognized them either. So that means that these are strangers. They don't live in this area. They came from some far off land. So they came and they greeted him with salam. They said, "Peace." Ibrahim responded. He said, "Salam. Peace to you as well." And Ibrahim was a very generous person. So these are strangers. They're just traveling through the desert. Ibrahim invites them into his home. And he said, "I'm going to go get you some food." So he goes and he gets an animal and he cooks it, and he makes some nice roasted calf meat. And this is considered to be an expensive dish. This is not cheap stuff. He didn't just give them like a few grains or carbohydrates or something like that. He's giving them some good, high quality, nicely cooked meal. And he brings it to them, and he places the food in front of them. Now these people, they've been traveling through the desert. When you're traveling through the desert, you don't have that many belongings. You must be tired. You must be very hungry. So when he put the food in front of them, he saw that these people, they're not eating anything. Ibrahim got scared. He said, something is not right with these people. No normal person who's traveling through the desert would be served this type of amazing food and they wouldn't want to eat it. So he was worried. He said, "Hey, you know what? These people, maybe they came here to steal from me. Or these people are trying to, maybe they're going to kill me. And these are not normal people. Something is wrong with them." And then when they recognized that Ibrahim now is afraid. And he was getting very worried. They told him, they said, "Ibrahim, you don't need to be afraid. We don't eat food. We have been sent to destroy the people of Lut. We're just stopping by." Now Lut was a relative of Ibrahim. And he was also a prophet, a messenger of Allah, which we're going to see in the next story. So he said, these these were angels in human form that Allah sent. And He said, we're just passing through. We're not here to harm you. We're not even here for you. We're just on our way to Prophet Lut, and we just came to deliver some message. So they said, we just came here very briefly to give you some good news. The good news is that you're going to have another son. So he already has Ismail right now. So he says, you're going to have another son. And his name is going to be Ishaq, which is Isaac. And Ismail is Ishmael. And he said, Ishaq is going to be very knowledgeable. And he's going to have another son named Yaqub. In English, that's Jacob. And both of them, they're going to be prophets just like him. So Ibrahim is being told he's going to have another son, Ishaq. He's going to be a prophet. And Ishaq is going to have another son named Yaqub, and he's also going to be a prophet. So Ibrahim is very happy. Of course, he's like, not only is my son going to be a prophet, but my grandson is going to be a prophet. I mean, this is amazing. This is great news. So Ibrahim's other wife was Sarah. Other wife in Mecca was Hajar. She had Ismail. And his other wife, his first wife, was Sarah. And she was there and she was listening to what the angels are saying. So she kind of like slapped her face in surprise. It's not like hitting her face hard, but she's like, what? Like, how can that be? So she goes like this, and she's like, seriously? How can I give birth to a child? I'm an old woman. She's probably like in her 80s. 80-year-old women don't have children. And he says, my husband is an old man too. It's like, it's gonna be strange. That's gonna be very weird. And the angels responded to Sarah. And they said, are you surprised about Allah's decision? Allah can do anything. And Allah only does what is wise. Allah has a good reason of why. She knows, she's a believer. She knows Allah can do anything. But she just thought, this is strange. Like, I'm this old and I'm going to give birth to a baby. And she understood. Once she got this news from the angels, she understood this is a good thing. And Allah has some wisdom in this. So this was the good news that Ishaq was going to be born. Now, before Ibrahim passed away, before he left this world, he asked Allah, he made a dua, and his dua is captured in the Qur'an. He asked Allah, he said, my Lord, help me to pray regularly. And help my children to also pray regularly. So the final dua, what was on the mind of Ibrahim? He said, I'm about to die. He said, in my last days that I'm on this earth, I want you to make sure that I am keeping up my prayers. And when I'm gone, I want you to make sure that my children keep up their prayers as well. My children have to be good Muslims. He wasn't thinking about, I hope they have enough money and I hope they get this education. And no, it was all about if they're going to be on the path of Islam. And then Ibrahim called his two sons, Ismail and Ishaq, and he called them over and he gave them some parting advice. He said, my children, Allah has chosen the right path for you. So make sure that you do not die unless you're a Muslim. Meaning, make sure that whatever happens, you never know when you're going to die. But when you will die, make sure that you're in the path of Islam. Make sure you're not in any other path, because that would be the worst thing you could ever do. And so concludes the story of Prophet Ibrahim. So we'll go through some of these questions. I don't think this needs to be that close here. Okay. So let's go through some questions and we'll see if anyone can help answer these questions. Okay? Which region of the world did Ibrahim live in? Just raise your hand if you know. Yes. Mina? He lived in Mina. In the beginning, where he grew up. Yeah, see. Iraq, what was it called back then? Mesopotamia. Good. How was Ibrahim different from the other young men in his city? Yes. Good. He was not a blind follower, and he didn't worship idols, and he questioned the people. Right? Why? Because he was smart. What was Ibrahim's father doing wrong? Yes. He was worshipping idols. Very good. and he also made idols. What kind? I'm going to select from these questions. Why did Ibrahim pretend he was sick? Saying two people. Nobody. Yes. Went to break the idols. Very good. Okay. Where did Ibrahim go after the people left for their festival? Yes. The temple. That's right. Okay. What happened there? He broke the idols. Very good. All right. What did the leaders decide to do to Ibrahim after he broke the idols? Name two people. Same four people. Yes. Throw him in a fire. Very good. All right. What was the conversation between the king and Ibrahim? For long. Summary. Go ahead, Abu. Good. Good. Right. Bring it from the west. Very good. Okay. Excellent. Very good. All right. And let's see. What was Makkah like when Ibrahim and his wife first arrived there? Yes. Completely barren. Very good. All right. And why did Hajar start walking back and forth between the two hills? Yeah. Find some food and water. And what were the names of those hills? It's okay. You know, who's giving you the answer? Why did you just say it yourself? The back, go ahead, yes. Safa and Marwa, very good, okay? And there's more questions. Okay, enough questions. Let's move on to the next story. Prophet Lut. So Prophet Lut was the nephew of Ibrahim. And he was also a messenger of Allah. So Allah told Lut to move to a nearby city which was named Sodom or Sodom in English. And when he went there, he noticed that the people there did something that no other community had ever done. Men would marry other men, and they would act like a husband and wife normally do, hugging and kissing and doing all of those things. So Lut was very shocked to see this. And so he told his people, he's a messenger of Allah, he told his people that you people are doing such a shameful act. There is no other group of people in the world that has done this so openly like you have done. How can you be intimate with other men instead of marrying women like normal people do? Like, don't you fear Allah at all? So he told them, you have crossed the limits of decency. This is really shameless behavior. So in addition to that, that was one thing that they were doing wrong. And that's the very unique thing that they were doing wrong. Nobody else as a society had ever done that before. And in addition to that, they also used to steal from travelers that would be passing through their land. So they would go and they were like bandits. They were like pirates. What do? They go and steal from other people, especially in places where there's nobody around, in the middle of the desert. Like, what do pirates do? Pirates steal when you're in the middle of the sea. There's nobody around to help you. In the middle of the desert, there's nobody around to help you. There's no cities, there's no villages. So they go and they rob people in those locations. This is what the people of Prophet Lut used to do as well. So, that was the background. So, the response, what did the people respond to Lut? They said, we don't want to hear this. We don't want to hear you telling us that we're doing something wrong. If you keep telling us to change our ways, then we're going to kick you out of our city too. You're not even allowed to live here anymore. But Lut, he had a mission from Allah. Allah told him, it's your job to keep trying to convince these people to stop doing what they're doing. So he's going to continue his mission. So he kept on trying to convince them, kept on telling them, just like the prophets we've seen before. And finally they announced, they said, you know what, everyone, we're sick and tired of this guy. Let's kick him and his family out of this town. These people, they want to be too pure. They think they're so pure because they don't engage in this type of behavior that we engage in. So they started making fun of him. They said, oh, you think you're so clean and you're so pure, you think what we're doing is bad. So they started making fun of him even more. They said, okay, go ahead. Show us the punishment of Allah right now if you're telling the truth. Just like the people of the past. We want to see it. And Lut knew that these people are in big trouble because they don't want to change. And they're making fun of their prophet. And they don't want to only worship Allah. They don't want to give up their bad behavior. So Allah's not going to keep giving them more and more chances to change. And Lut knows that Allah has destroyed other people in the past. So Lut made a dua finally. After a long time of calling them, he made a dua. He said, oh Allah, my Lord, protect my family and I from the bad things that these people are doing. Lut wanted to make sure that they don't ever become like them or start doing any of the things that they're doing. So then, one day, the angels that had visited Ibrahim, they had told him that we're on our way to the people of Sodom, to the people of Lut. So, if we go back a little bit in time, the angels were still with Prophet Ibrahim telling him that he's going to have another son. And so when Ibrahim heard that these angels are on their way to destroy the town of Sodom, the people of Lut, Ibrahim asked him before, he said, you're going there? What are you going to do when you get there? And the angel said, Allah has sent us to destroy those people. By sending down stones of clay on them, we're going to completely destroy that entire city. So obviously Ibrahim was worried about his nephew, Lut. And he's worried about the believers. There are believers there. So he told the angels, Ibrahim told the angels, he said, but Lut is there. You shouldn't destroy the entire city. There are Muslims there too. So don't destroy the entire city. Can you save the city of the people of Lut? So Ibrahim was hoping also that the people of Lut might get another chance to change their ways. He said, just don't destroy them. Just give them more time. Maybe they're going to change. But Allah revealed to Prophet Ibrahim. And he told him, he said, Ibrahim, stop trying to convince the angels to spare that city. I have already decided what's going to happen. That city is going to be destroyed. And Allah told him, he said, you don't need to worry. I already know there are believers there. I'm going to save Lut, and I'm going to save the family, his family, and I'm going to save the believers, except one person from his family. His wife, she's going to be destroyed too. Why? Because she is one of the bad people. So Ibrahim realized that, you know what? I'm not going to, you don't argue with Allah. Allah has already made his decision. And there's no point of trying to convince the angels. Angels are under command from Allah. So whatever they're going to do, they're going to do. So then the angels come and they visit Lut. They finally arrive in the city of Sodom. And they first came to Lut in human form. And they showed like they were visitors, just like they did with Prophet Ibrahim. So Lut didn't recognize them because they look like they're travelers. So you people are not from around. If you live in a small town, you kind of know who's from the town and who's not from the town. So Lut said, you people don't look like you're from around here. You must be from some like far off land. You look like you're foreigners. So Lut looked at them and he noticed that these are young, very handsome, very good looking men. So he was very worried about them. Because he knew that the bad people in the city, they're going to try to take them as boyfriends and do some kind of bad stuff with them. So Lut is hoping that he can save these people somehow. So he tried to convince them, you need to leave the city. Don't stay here. Just go somewhere else. This is the wrong city. You came to the wrong place. Get out of here as quickly as you can. But he doesn't want to be a bad host because these are guests. So if you kick your guests out and say, just get out of here, they might think, what kind of hospitality is this? You don't even want to keep me overnight. So now he's kind of in a difficult situation. He's trying to be like, you guys should really quickly get out of here as fast as you can. But of course, you're welcome to stay with me in my house. So eventually, the bad people in the city, they found out that Lut has these handsome, good-looking young guests staying in his home. So they invited them over. Said, no, no, come stay with us. You don't need to stay with Lut. Come with us. We're going to show you a good time. We're going to show you better hospitality than he can show. So Lut knew what was going to happen. These people, they try and lure them in, get them drunk, have physical relationships with them, because this is the type of thing that they would do. So Lut knew that these people are in trouble. So he tried to protect his guests. And he tried to convince his people to stop. He said, listen, guys, I know what you're trying to do. I know exactly what you're trying to do with these people. These are my guests. You need to fear Allah. Don't try to get them to do bad things. And then he tried to reason with them. He's like, listen, why don't you people just marry women instead? There's so many women in the city. You can get married and you can have a pure, clean relationship with any of these women. Why do you men have to have a relationship with men? Marry women and have a proper, halal, natural, normal relationship. But his people, they refused. And they said, you know, we're not interested in women. We just want the handsome men. That's what we want. We don't want to get married. So Lut said to them, in desperation, he said, I wish I had some type of power in the city. Lut was, again, not from the city. He doesn't have a tribe to protect him. He doesn't have anyone else. I wish I had some power in the city. Or I wish I had more followers. So I could stop you from what you're doing. But I'm not able to stop you. And so at that moment, the guests finally told him, because they saw him getting really frustrated, very worried. They finally said, listen, Lut, you don't need to worry. You did your job. We are angels from Allah. These people can never harm us, no matter what. They're not going to harm you, and they're not going to harm us. We have been sent by Allah to destroy these people because of the bad things that they've been doing. And don't worry, you and your family and all the believers, you all need to leave this city tonight, immediately. Tonight is the night. You need to be gone. And he said, do not even look back. Just get as far away from the city as you possibly can. And in the morning, the city will be completely destroyed. So that is exactly what happened. Lut, the believers, everyone except his wife, who used to go and support those people. And she's probably the one who told the people that these were the guests inside of Lut's house. Everyone else left, all the believers, the Muslims, and Prophet Lut, they left. At sunrise in the morning, started coming out. As soon as the sun rose, there was this loud, roaring noise that was heard throughout the city. And these large stones started raining down on the city like bombs coming down. And it completely destroyed the buildings, destroyed all of the people, and the whole city was destroyed. Allah saved Lut, He saved the believers, but his wife was destroyed because she disbelieved in her husband and she would support what those people used to do. And this concludes the story of Prophet Lut. So, we have time for 2 questions. Number 1. Hold on. Let me ask questions for me first. So, okay, question 1. Which other prophet was alive at the time of Lut? Yes. Yes, Ibrahim. Very good. Check with your friends. I bet you a lot of them don't know that. Alright, number 2. How did the people of Lut make fun of him? You raising the camera or your hand? You're just recording. Okay. How did the people of Lut make fun of him? Yeah, they said you're too pure, you're trying to be too clean. You know, if what we're doing is dirty and gross, you people are too clean. That's how they would make fun of him. Exactly. Very good. Alright, so we'll leave it at that. Is there any question? We don't know exactly how many angels. It doesn't mention it in the Qur'an, so we're focusing on the Qur'an. Does anyone have any other last question before we conclude? Alright, subhanakallahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum.